When you actually train, when you're actually performing like physically intense tasks in an urban setting, you create a different, what we do in the gym and what we do in training and what we do in the day of labor is just preparing us to be, it came in so many different phases. I mean, the first phase is that I've always liked that idea, and we've been doing that at White Line Athletics for a long time. And the first time we did it was working doesn't need to be a daunting task or a task that we should avoid. And I think that the idea of performing a laborious task, could be yard work or shoveling snow, it may be a little bit of apprehension that I don't have the skills, I don't know how to do it. I think that the day of labor kind of encapsulates that. There's carrying, we're going to be carrying stuff, guaranteed. You're going to be working with people. A lot of the times when you get the call from a friend or from your family, say, hey, can you help move this couch or can you help move this stove? Okay, well, when was the last time you actually performed a coordinated lift? So so we're going to go and take a look at the tire lift. People are getting together, they don't know each other. Performing a coordinated compound movement, lifting a heavy object over a distance. It takes coordination, it takes communication, it takes confidence, and it takes strength. If you get to do this in a non-work setting, so in a training setting, you get to ask all the questions. You get to have your form and your movement critiqued, and you also get to learn how to do it. I mean, what we do in the gym and what we do in training and what we do in the day of labor is just preparing us to be more confident in life. We can answer the call with confidence. I can help you move that stove, or I can help you move this. So that's sort of the thing. It's like we're putting you in a life scenario, but in a fun environment where you actually get to test your skills and your strength, and also ask questions if needed on how you might be able to perform these tasks. It came in so many different phases. I mean, the first phase is that I like people, I like myself training in an urban environment. When you actually train, when you're actually performing like physically intense tasks in an urban setting, you create a different relationship with that setting. Then you're going to see it down by the water, moving kettlebells, moving sandbags, running through the neighborhood, making a mark on that space. But I really think that when you are performing physically intense tasks in an urban environment, it just hits different. It feels different. And I think your memories of that place are different. So I've always liked that idea. And we've been doing that at White Line Athletics for a long time. And the first time we did it was back in the winter of 2018. And I really felt like a connection with the environments that I was doing, and it's like I wanted to replicate that. The other idea was that I wanted to have everything that we do here make sense over the course of a concerted effort. Do 5 a.m. club, you're going to see us training in 5 a.m. club, you're going to see the body weight training, you're going to see the sandbag training, kettlebells, barbells, people working together and building relationships. So the aspect of 5 a.m. club was transplanted into day of labor in many different facets, but mostly in the body weight portion of it, where those that had been coming to 5 a.m. club were doing the sit-throughs, the walkouts. We added a couple of different elements in there, the V-sits, but everybody is doing familiar things. So even though it was in a different environment, people were already ready for it. And I think when we're training, sometimes you think, well, what am I training for? In that instance, they may have understood that the 5 a.m. club training got them ready for that. So that was the part of it. The sandbag training, all the sandbag training sessions that we do on Saturdays, we took those sessions and transplanted it into the day of labor, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm ready for that. Showing once again that your training, even though you don't know it, is preparing you for something else later in life that might be more intense. Then we had the run club. When Maya and Ryan and I sat down the first time for the run club, it was the idea of nobody left behind. Everybody is kind of brought up, the rising tide lifts all ships. So the run club was the link between all of the locations, and probably without the run club starting, we wouldn't have been able to have a multi-location event. The kettlebell training has been a part of 5 a.m. club, but it's also been a part of our workshops here during December It's been one of the benchmark programs of White Lion Strong Gym since the beginning. So we took everything and put it into one event. And when people got there, they probably were familiar. So the training in the past made sense, even though it was in a different environment. The order of exercises was different. The intensity was different. Everybody was, surprisingly prepared for what we did. And it was nice to see them kind of like, oh yeah, I remember doing this, or we've done this before. There was nothing, blindsiding about it. I mean, the idea here is to present the challenge as a challenge, but not to be this crushing, daunting task that nobody is prepared for. I mean, we weren't going to go and do like longboarding or something that we'd never done before. That's kind of outside of our wheelhouse. It does not really, a sense to test the skills that we've already developed. You can see that there's just like this swell. It's like, okay, well, we got to let it loose. And I think that this event was a perfect channel to send that tide rushing through in such a great way, because I think that everyone was just, it was just right.